guys, my name's Tessa, and today we're going to be doing power yoga for increasing flexibility and focus. So we're going to just get started. So if you want to go ahead and move to the front of your mat into Tadasana standing pose. So, when we think about flexibility and yoga, we do a lot to stretch the back of our legs. I really want to focus on front of the legs too, and just whole front body. So if you want to start in Tadasana, really being aware of your thighs, lifting as you root down through your feet, tucking the tailbone in. And we're going to do a few vinyasas, a few flows just to warm everything up. So Tadasana, go ahead and reach overhead, rooting down through the feet, feeling that length in the spine as you reach, and fold forward, bringing the chest forward, keeping the spine long. Go ahead and look up, really feeling that chest open, thighs lift, and feeling a softness in your knees. You're not just locking your knees back, and you're not bending your knees either as you come forward, and you can grab onto any part of your leg to pull yourself forward a little more, bringing your chest forward, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. First, getting into the hamstrings and the calves, and in this forward bend, just bring your focus to your breath and the simplicity of that. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth to start. And taking a few deep breaths into your abdomen. And just letting go of tension. And then getting ready to step back. You can bend your knees a little bit if you need to. Make sure that your fingers are lined up. And just step yourself back one leg. So we're gonna just start getting into this quad right away. So in this lunge position, you're just gonna let that knee drop. And if your quad and your hip flexor is really tight, this might be enough. So you can just let the foot rest, and you want your toes moving straight back. You don't want to bring your foot in or out. You want your thigh nice and straight. And if this feels easy, you can start to open up your chest a little more. And then eventually you're going to bring your hands to your leg, but keep dropping the thigh, really feeling that stretch. And you're going to feel strength in this leg as you press the foot. You don't want your knee going too far past your ankle, definitely not past your toes. And you can bring your arms overhead if you're ready for a deeper stretch. And this is a balancing pose too. So really reaching up and back as you drop the thigh. This is one of the best positions for quad and hip flexor, and even psoas in here, that muscle in there. So dropping, letting the thigh release, and bringing the hands back down to the floor. Go ahead and come back to that standing position. You might want to take a couple steps in and forward bend. You can, wherever you're at in this forward bend, you can just walk it out a little bit slowly, bending one knee at a time. Just slightly, really getting into the hamstrings a little bit more, letting the knee release. And we're ready for the opposite side. Go ahead and step your opposite foot back. And then just drop that knee, and the top of the foot presses down. So in this position, just dropping that thigh, letting the chest open, and progressively just getting deeper into it, really taking our time. So letting that thigh drop as you open the chest and really pressing through this foot, keeping your balance by pressing. And you can even press the top of that back foot as you bring the arms overhead, really lengthening through the fingertips as you reach back, really dropping the thigh, getting into that hip flexor and thigh, and reach through your fingertips as you drop and release. Go ahead and bring your hands back so that you can step forward into this forward bend. Go ahead and half forward bend. Lengthen your spine so you're forming a 90-degree angle with your body. So really opening your chest, feeling strength in your thighs as you root down through your feet. And from here, coming up, lengthen your spine, reach through your fingertips, root down through your feet. And Tadasana. I'm just feeling that nice release in the thighs. And again, go ahead and bring the arms overhead, reaching, tucking the tailbone in, back down, forward bend. Go ahead and look up, lengthen the spine. And go ahead and, just like before, go ahead and step your leg back. So we're gonna keep getting deeper into that quad, the hip flexor, and the psoas muscle up here. So in this position, you can repeat what we did. If you'd like to try something a little bit deeper, then this is what you're gonna do. So you wanna support yourself with that hand, and then you wanna reach from the inside. It's healthier for your knee. So if your thigh is a little bit more flexible, you can begin to bring that leg up and then grab on and really press that heel in towards the glute as you open your chest. And be careful that your knee isn't moving past your toes. And release. And again, stepping forward. Forward bend, taking just a minute here, and then stepping that opposite side back. And again, you can go through the variation that we did first if this is too much for now. If you'd like more, go ahead and reach from the inside, safer for your knee. I'm gonna reach and grab on. Make sure that your knee isn't moving past your toes. And just keep, if you need more, keep dropping that thigh and bringing the heel in towards your glute. And release. And go ahead and step that foot forward. Half forward bend, strong thighs, rooting down through the feet. Open up the chest and come up, arms overhead, nice long spine. Bringing your tailbone in and back to center. All right, so once more, go ahead and bring the arms overhead, tucking the tailbone in, nice long spine, reaching through the fingertips. Forward bend. Now really focusing on the hamstrings and the calves this time. Really pull any part of your leg. Relax your shoulders away from your neck and bring the weight more into the balls of your feet, still rooting down through the heels, and really bringing yourself in for a nice deep stretch. And it really doesn't matter where you are, just so long as you're pulling, bringing your chest forward, leading with your heart, leading with your chest, letting the head follow. Letting the shoulders relax away from the ears. Stepping back into plank this time, so 1 foot at a time. Go ahead and place your hands, stepping the feet back into plank. Pressing your palms. Feeling strength in your thighs, softness in your knees, not just locking your knees. And go ahead and press back into downward facing dog. You might need to move your feet around a little bit so that they're hip distance apart. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Pressing back into downward facing dog. So we've done a lot for our hamstrings, our calves, our quads. We need to get into our hips a little bit. So this is a great way to start opening up the hips. So from downward facing dog, keep pressing your palms and rooting down through your feet as you transfer weight to 1 foot. Just begin to open up your leg. Nothing changes except you're opening up that leg as you drop the heel and press the palms. Really letting that inner thigh start to open a little bit, bringing that leg up and back, and slowly lowering that leg. Opposite side. If at any point this feels like too much, you can just rest for a few minutes and tabletop and come back into it. So downward facing dog, getting into that opposite hip. So pressing, go ahead and transfer the weight and then begin to open. You might hear a few pops. It's not a bad thing unless it hurts. Just move slowly. Let that heel descend as you open. Keep pressing the palms. And release. Downward facing dog. And coming back down into tabletop. Child's pose, big toes together, knees are apart. So we're gonna do this variation of child's pose with knees very far apart, so you can walk your hands in and just keep walking your knees out so that they're just on the outer edge of your mat. And you're gonna descend your tailbone towards your heels. If your hips are really tight, then you're gonna be up a little bit more, which is fine. Just keep working on descending your tailbone, letting it drop. Go ahead and bring your chest in between your thighs towards the floor, letting your head rest on the floor or your hands or your forearms. And if you're not at a place where you can rest on your forearms, you can just be right here. So this position is great for opening up the hips, the groins. So just letting the tailbone descend, lengthening through the spine still. So go ahead and just start to walk the hands in and bring the knees in, lifting the butt. So bringing those knees back into tabletop position and pressing into dog pose again. Downward dog. Pressing back with the thighs, descending the heels, pressing the chest towards the thighs. And slowly walk yourself forward into this forward bend. Go ahead and open your chest, lengthen your spine. And at this point, you should be feeling a lot looser in your hamstrings and your calves. Back down. So from this position, pressing your feet, lifting your thighs to come out. Nice and slow. And press through your feet, lengthen through your fingertips, tuck your tailbone in, nice long spine, and release. Tadasana. Go ahead and take a breath. And just enjoy feeling better after practicing for a little while. And moving into triangle pose is one of my favorite whole body poses. So coming back to the center of our mat. So from Tadasana, go ahead and step your feet wide. And we need something to open up our chest a little bit more. There's a way to work triangle to do that a little more. So go ahead and pivot your feet. That back foot is pivoted in just slightly, and the forward heel is in line with the back arch. So begin to just slide that hand down the leg, and you want your head in line with your knee. And go ahead and bring that arm overhead. So once you feel solid here, rooting down through your feet, strong thighs, back up just a little bit and go ahead and start to bring your arm back. So this movement is not generated from my arm. It's really about pressing my shoulder blade in to open up my chest, open up my back more. And nothing else changes. It's just my shoulder blade moving in. And then you can bring your arm back to center with a chest that's a little more open. And really reach through those fingertips. Don't let your hand be limp like this. Really root down through your feet. Reach through your fingertips. And if you suffer from vertigo or just have a hard time with balance, you can find a spot on the floor to focus on. You don't have to bring your gaze overhead. And pressing that back foot to come out. Go ahead and pivot to the opposite side. And if you need to take a minute, if this is starting to feel like a lot, go ahead and just bring your feet together and take a few breaths, and then come back and join me when you're ready. So coming into triangle, again on this opposite side, bringing that hand down, rooting down through the feet, bringing that arm overhead. And once you feel good here, go ahead and bring that shoulder blade in to open up that chest more, bringing the arm back. And then bringing the arm back to center. Look down, make sure that your head is in line with your knee. And find a spot on the ceiling or on the floor to focus on to keep your balance. Really lengthen through your arm, through your fingertips. And pressing that back foot, reaching through the fingertips to come out. And coming back to center, go ahead and step your feet, and you can just shake out your legs and your arms. So coming back to standing Tadasana, rooting down through the feet, lifting the thighs, tucking the tailbone in. And just enjoying feeling better, more focused, more loose. I just want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you like this video, please subscribe down below. And if you have any requests, let me know. I'd love to put a video together for you. And I hope that you have a great day.